Welcome back to our mini lessons. Today we're going to dive back into another soapbox debate. And you may hear the sentence frame that I use with my students for debating. My claim is, my warrant is. It's a very simple sentence frame, and teachers can vary that however they want. But I want to be very clear to students with one short sentence how I want them to respond in a deep math discussion.
Now, in the first debate, we were very silly. We talked about how to cut a pizza. And this episode, you're going to get into a little bit more of a mathy debate, where we're going to talk about manipulatives. It's important to know that when we start with the silliness to help with the structure, that's just for the structure purposes and getting students, used to talking with each other. We want to then move them into talking more mathiness in their classes, and so they can share their ideas and share, what they believe, but also having reasoning behind it.
All right, starting with another soapbox debate. Let's get on your soapbox and share your thoughts.
Our first question is for Zak. Zak, what is the best manipulative?
So Mike, you and I spend a lot of time working with physical and virtual manipulatives, and today I'm going to argue that I think the best manipulative are the two-color counters, the yellow and red circle counters. You probably have thousands of them in your classroom. They seem to multiply at night, right? They're everywhere. But these things can be used for so much more than just counters, right? They're great for filling in 10 frames. They're great for helping young people learn to subitize and look at things. They've got that classic counters in a cup task where you put 7 of them in there, you toss them out, and then you record how many are yellow, how many are red. You're looking at composing and decomposing number. But where they don't get used enough is in middle grades classrooms. They're really great for adding integers using negative and positives. They're awesome for ratios, 2 yellow to 3 red, and they're physical, and they can keep sort of replicating that to take a look at physically what a ratio and a proportion might look like. So I think the yellow and red circle counters are the most underrated physical manipulative out there.
Okay, and with the opposing argument, we have Mike. You're up.
All right. I am a fan of the two color counters. However, my claim is that the best manipulative are connecting cubes, snap cubes, but the ones that have multi-links, not the unifix. And here's my warrant. This is why. I was originally going to go with base 10 blocks. But with the connecting cubes, you could also create the base 10 model as well. So that just adds to the versatility. I feel like the connecting cubes are like the utility player. They're the Swiss Army knife, if you will, of math, right? Because you can use it for counting, patterns, adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing. You can build geometric structures. You can build base 10 blocks. You can use them with 10 frames. It slices, it dices. It does everything you need it to do. And you get so much mileage out of it. And we've used them also with integers with middle grades. Sure. It's just using, instead of like the color chips, we think of it as like hot and cold cubes. That context can really help. And so I feel like it's something that we see across the grade levels. There's always a good case for using it. And if you were going to spend some money, connecting cubes is a really good investment.
Awesome. Thank you both. So that was our second soapbox debate. Did you notice, by the way, that during that debate, Zak did not use a sentence frame, claim, and warrant, which may be okay in some cases, but the goal really is with this to get students to say their answer and give an explanation, to build that argumentation routine.
And if you also noticed, both of them had strong reasoning that tied to the claim. This is important because then they're debating the topic and not the person that they're debating. In the world, as Chris and I have discussed many times, in the world, oftentimes people are debating the person and not listening to one another. So that way they're not debating the topic itself. It's important to have students have reasoning that goes to their claim.
Tune in next episode as we change up the routine a little bit and go a little deeper.